Hi, welcome to Sketchbook Brewing Company. Today I'm going to show you how Purple Pinkie, the beer that we made in collaboration with the Evanston Nouveau Club, is made. Come on with me. Three years ago, we met with the folks at the Evanston Nouveau Club to come up with this collaboration, the Purple Pinkie project.
We were trying to think of some ideas on how we could recognize World Polio Day. So we decided to start the conversation with Sketchbook and say, hey, is there any appetite for you to partner with us and us create our own beer that is specifically for fundraising for the eradication of polio?
As a group, we landed on a witbier, which is essentially a wheat beer. Wheat being very proliferous in areas that are still very affected by polio. I'm going to point to a few things. The equipment you're looking here is where the mash of the grains to turn into alcohol later in the process is going on right now. We have a recipe of barley that we extract all the sugars and flavor to provide the yeast with that wort, it's called. And then the yeast will produce the beer itself, which is a fermentation process. We actually wanted to come up with a couple of ingredients that were very unique to Pakistan and Afghanistan, where polio is still used to be addressed. Witbier is typically made with coriander, which is kind of original from one of those countries, and as well as pomegranate juice to give it a pop and a little brightness to it.
We knew one of the next steps was going to be label design. 360, who had done one of the prior collaboration beers with Sketchbook, was also a big friend of the club, and so we approached him, and fortunately he said yes.
First thing that came to mind was doing, just a hand with the pinky, with eradication efforts. When people would go into villages and things like that, they would dot everybody's pinkies with purple ink so that they would know who was immunized, who was not. And then one thing early on that I knew I wanted to do was have the pinky as part of the word. I think by combining art with the message of trying to eradicate polio, it can reach out to people who would not otherwise be aware of the issue or even care about the issue.
When people touch that beer, when the community grabs that beer and they read on the panel what the project is about, we're able to transfer that information that is so important to make people aware.
Knowing that the brewery is local, the artist is local, the people helping the community are local. To spearhead an effort that's important, I think that resonates with people more.
I would want other members and other clubs to think creatively, to look to those local businesses to see where those partnerships can be, because it's something where we can both drive business to a local company that is helping to support in a myriad of different ways, but also is giving back to the organization that we all want to be a part of.